I guess at this point, we're a month out from spring training. What are the biggest challenges you're facing at this point with getting organized, getting situated, things like that?
The biggest challenge? Names. Frankly.
Yeah.
Large volume of people I'm meeting for the first time. And I'm big with names. I think it's important that you learn people's names. I think eye contact's critical when you talk to people, and you can't call everybody buddy or pal. You've got to find a way to connect. So that would be the challenge. That would be the challenge for me from a personnel side. The other challenge from the personnel side is just getting eyes on more than hands on. Player development staff here now, so I'm meeting a lot of our player development guys for the first time to try and find some time with them individually, get to know them a little bit better. I think that one of the things I'm most impressed with is the work that's been done over the 3-year periods from our scouting program, from our player development program. I think everybody's aware of the fact we spent more money than anybody in baseball in the last 3 years in scouting. We've made it transfer over. We've got a good group of young men coming up that we went and sought out and got put in the program, and have big hopes for as they work their way through our minor league system. I've had some experience with the situation that the Pirates are in right now. And it has a lot of common fabric back to probably, I would guess, around the 2005 season when I was with Colorado. Yeah. We had some guys that spent some time in the minor leagues. They've had some success to the minor leagues. Now they're coming up trying to figure things out at the major league level. You've got a handful of veterans sprinkled in to provide some clubhouse stability and some on-field stability and leadership. But the challenges have been real. And the growth spurt, that's one thing in this game you can't control is the pace of when players are actually going to pop. You'd like them all to pop at the same time. That's not the way it always happens. I'm probably as optimistic about our pitching as anything, just because, Neal made a very gutsy call last season. Instead of dabbling into a free agent market and getting some guys that are banging the drum maybe towards the back end of their career, there's still a number of those guys out there this year, but he decided to let the young men pitch. And now it's up to those young men to take that experience and to take the humility the game can bring you from time to time and go ahead and use it as a positive and take that into this year.
In terms of this year, we need guys to step up, Rob. There's no doubt about it. We've got to figure out how to score runs for Ross Ohlendorf. He's probably the best 1-in-11 pitcher I've seen in a long time. James McDonald, is it real? Can James go out and do what he did the 9 or 10 starts that he had for us after the trade? There's no question. We need a bounce back year from Paul Maholm. As we look at Kevin Correa, the numbers behind the numbers for Kevin gave us comfort that he's going to come back closer to the pitcher he was in 2009 for San Diego. To go through what he went through last year, losing his brother, I can only imagine how tough that must have been for him. But a lot of his strikeout to walk ratio, his ground ball rate, he was the one guy in that bullpen on that pitching staff that bullpen hurt. His strand rate was atrocious, and everybody else's strand rate was tremendous. So we feel there's a pretty good reason that Kevin bounces back. The 5 holes at Scott Olson is a Charlie Morton. Can Brad Lincoln step up? We're looking down the road at a Rudy Owens, a Justin Wilson, Brian Morris, a Jeff Locke, and that doesn't include all the other arms, the Von Rosenbergs, the Taillons, the Alleys, that whole wave that's coming. We believe we need to be strong pitching. But unless you're willing to give up your absolute top prospects for guys that may only be here a couple of years, you're not willing to do that right now. We didn't feel as an organization we were prepared to take on that type of outpouring to bring in a pitcher that may only be here for a year or two. We're in the process of building something for the longer term, and those guys are going to be quite expensive when it comes to free agency. And we've got to develop our own starting pitching from within. For us to be successful, we have to draft, develop, or sign out of Latin America our own starting pitching because it's just so expensive on the free agent market. It's something that we explored the market this year, bringing in like we did a year ago, bringing in Octavio Dotel, a veteran right-handed reliever, veteran closer type guy to pull Hanrahan and Meek forward to shorten games. It's a nice feeling for a manager to have Evan Meek and Joel Hanrahan out there to mix and match in the 7th and 8th inning, maybe even the 6th inning if he has to. So we explored that market. It didn't come to fruition the way we had hoped it would. We're still continuing to look to see if there's a veteran we can add to the pen, a 3rd, 4th quality setup guy. To go with what we have internally. We've got some great arms internally we've got to make some decisions on this year. It's not something that Clint and I have sat down and talked about who he wants, who we want. That's not something we've sat down and talked about as a staff just yet. But my anticipation is we would have that decision whether we're going to go with both guys again and let them battle it out and make a decision sometime during the season, or whether we're going to set a guy as we head into spring training. The expectations for Clint this year are to be the manager, to be the voice in the clubhouse, to be the guy that comes in and makes an impact on this team and on this organization, along with our staff that's coming in to help him. We're going to be better this year. It's just a matter of how much better, and I know that's a loaded answer because with 57 wins you better be better, but there's no doubt in my mind we're going to be better, and it's an exciting time to sit here and to see the young players coming together, to see this staff, the energy, the experience, the knowledge, the passion for the game and playing it the right way, and it's going to be an enjoyable time to be around the Pirates.
One of the best lessons I've learned in this game is I can't control what other people say, think, or do. I can control my effort, I can control my preparation, I can control my energy. My goal is to make a difference in a positive way. My goal is to rebond the city of Pittsburgh with the Pittsburgh Pirate baseball team, because when we do that, you'll hear it from the 4 corners of the United States. You'll hear the roar. It's a tradition-rich organization. I've done nothing but dig deeper and deeper into it since I signed on. And one of the things that absolutely galvanized me to this job was it is the greatest coaching opportunity in all of sport. And I wanted to bond together a group of coaches to embrace this opportunity. And I've gotten the information from Neal and Frank and Bob that I needed to hear. I didn't need to manage, just to manage. I wasn't going to go manage just to manage. And I've had that opportunity. If I was going to manage again, I left a very good job in Texas, a very comfortable job. But it's never been about comfort for me. It never has. I mean, I'm looking for challenges, and this is a very unique and good challenge, a healthy challenge. And I want to see it. The statement that I hear so many times is usually from a fan my age, tell me my dad's got 1 foot in the grave and he wants to see the Pirates on top. I've heard that for some reason more than anything. I said, sir, that's our goal.